Imagine being productive but without the stress. Sounds good, right? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to achieve just that with the game-changing strategies from Ali Abdaal's book, Feel Good Productivity. Now, you know I'm all about helping you build your best life, and this book aligns perfectly with that. First of all, if you don't know who Ali Abdaal is, I highly recommend you check him out. He was the guy who gave me the courage in the first place to start this YouTube channel. So I'm forever grateful for you, Ali, if you're watching this video. Without further ado, let's dive straight into it. Key takeaway number 1, integrating joy with productivity. This rule has been such a game changer for me, and it's very important for you to understand it as well, because essentially it's the foundation of the whole book, integrating joy with productivity. So Ali Abdaal suggests that being productive isn't just about crossing things off of your to-do list, but actually enjoying what you do, because this tiny mindset shift is what will enable you to become more creative and more productive, and it's a much more sustainable way to do things long term. So to illustrate this, let's start with the candle problem, which was a classic experiment conducted by Carl Duncker back in 1945. And this is like a test of creative thinking. So this will be our base point. The task was simple, yet difficult. Picture yourself with these 3 things in front of you: a candle, a matchbook, and a box of thumbtacks. You have to figure out how to attach the candle to a corkboard on the wall without the wax dripping on the table below. The solution? Empty the box of thumbtacks, use it as a holder, and tack it to the wall. But here's the point. In 1970, psychologist Alice Eisen used this as a highly influential experiment to test how your mood affects your creativity. Struggling to find out how this has anything to do with productivity? Just stay with me, I will explain. What she did was to split the volunteers into 2 groups, 1 and 2. The participants in group 1 were given a small gift before solving the puzzle. It was a bag of candy. And participants in group 2 weren't given anything at all. Her theory was that the participants who were given a small gift before were in a more positive mood when they actually were about to solve the puzzle. And the results were highly interesting. The participants that had had their mood lifted slightly were significantly more successful in solving the puzzle. This study has since been the cornerstone of a wave of exploring how positive emotions affect what happens in the brain. But for now, we're just going to keep it simple. One of the leading theories that came out of this in the late 90s was Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory. In simple terms, this theory suggests that positive emotions like joy actually broaden our awareness and enhances our creative thinking. The broaden part of the theory refers to the immediate effects of the positive mood. So when we are in a positive mood, we broaden up our perspective and we see more possibilities around us. Consider the candle problem. When people were in a good mood, they saw more possibilities and they were much more likely to solve the candle problem. The build part, on the other hand, refers to the long-term effects of having positive emotions. Because when we experience positive emotions, we build up our reservoir of mental and emotional resources like creativity, social connection, resilience, and problem-solving skills. All something that can help us in the future. That sounds pretty good to me. So, how can we use this? Ali suggests that when we feel good about what we're doing, we do it better. And this is why it's so important to align your work with something that brings you joy. And right now you might be thinking,
but what if there's no fun about this task or this work?
Well, find the fun. If you're sitting at work or have to vacuum your house, well then put on your headphones and blast out your favorite music. I promise it will put you in a good mood. Or if you have to write a tedious essay or a difficult job application, put on the theme song of the Pirates of the Caribbean and imagine you're a pirate on a mission. I've tried it and it helps. The point is, ask yourself, what would this situation look like if it were fun? And then do it that way. Alright, let's move on. Key takeaway number 2. Reframe your failure. So, if you're like most people and don't like failure, then this one will help you achieve a lot more in life. So to illustrate this, Ali refers to a study made by Mark Rober, who is a YouTuber and NASA-trained engineer. So Mark recruited 50,000 people and told them that he wanted them to take on this new computer challenge because he wanted to prove that anyone could learn how to code. He split the participants into 2 groups, A and B. When the participants in group A started to code and they eventually made a mistake, there was an error message on the screen saying, "You have failed, please try again." Meanwhile, when participants in group B made an error, there was an error message on the screen that stated, "You have failed, you have lost 5 points. You now have 195 points. Please try again." Notice the difference? There were points at stake for group B, and this small distinction made an astonishing difference. Group A made on average more attempts with a higher success rate, while Group B made fewer attempts with a much lower success rate. So the key takeaway from this one is simple. Approach life as Group A. In life, it's not like you're going to lose points if you fail. So try more often. And if you're sitting right now and thinking that
people will make fun of me and my missteps will be remembered forever,
well, then just wait for the last key takeaway of this video. I promise it will help you. Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb, didn't just invent it the first time he tried. No, it took him more than 1,000 attempts. He even famously said, "I haven't failed 999 times. I've just found 999 ways that won't work." The point is, when you fail, instead of thinking,
"Oh, I'm not good enough, it's probably nothing for me, I will just stay here in the comfort zone forever,"
ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this data to improve? This simple reframing can be incredibly powerful because it takes the sting out of failing and turns it into a valuable lesson instead. So go out there and fail often. I promise, as you fail more and more, you will get better and eventually you will succeed. So, time for key takeaway number 3, getting started. Ali Abdaal, he backs all of his theories with studies, experiments, and even laws. And this one is no different. He uses Isaac Newton's law of inertia to explain why it's so inevitably important to just get started. The law states, an object at rest stays at rest, while an object in motion stays in motion unless acted on by an external imbalanced force. Alright, stay with me. In other words, this means that an object that is still will continue to be still, and that an object that is moving will continue to move unless another force like gravity, air resistance, or some physical friction prevents it from moving. And as you've guessed, this applies to our productivity as well. Smart guy, Ali. When we're struggling to start a task, it's often because of what Ali calls emotional friction or environmental friction. Emotional friction can be the fear of failing or the overwhelming feeling of starting some big project, while environmental frictions can be something like distractions or a cluttered workspace. So, what can we do? Let's check out a few examples. For emotional friction, try breaking the task into smaller, much more manageable steps. Start with something so easy that you can't say no to doing it. If you're practicing the guitar and you're not really in the mood, just promise yourself to practice the guitar for 2 minutes. Oftentimes, these 2 minutes will turn out to many more minutes. For environmental friction, clean up your workspace, put your phone in another room, or create a dedicated spot to this particular activity. This really applies to most things we do in life. So let's get back to the example of practicing the guitar. If you want to learn the guitar, don't put the guitar in a closed closet with all the other things that you don't use on a daily basis. No, put your guitar next to the TV or next to your workspace where you see it all the time. Make the process as frictionless as possible. By reducing both emotional and environmental friction, it's easier to get started. And once you're in motion, it's easier to stay in motion. Alright, let's move on to something I know that a lot of us are struggling with. Key takeaway number 4, the spotlight effect. This is the tendency to overestimate how much others notice and care about our actions or missteps. We often think that everyone is watching our every move. But here's the truth. No one cares. No one cares if you're stumbling over your words during a presentation. No one cares if you're wearing the same outfit twice a week. No one cares if you mess up that Instagram post. People are too caught up in their own lives to scrutinize yours. And here's even a fun way to turn it around. Ask yourself, would I care if they misspoke? Probably not. Would I care if they tried something bold and it didn't work out? Probably not. Understanding this can free you from the paralyzing fear of judgment and failure, and instead empower you to make some bold moves and basically be who you are. Do what feels good for you. You have one life. Why waste it on trying to fit into others' expectations of you? So, there you have it. My 4 key takeaways from this amazing book, Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. If you're looking to build a more fulfilling and productive life, I highly recommend giving this book a read. There's a link in the description below. Remember, the most important thing isn't just to be more productive. It's about feeling good while you're at it. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It would really mean a lot to me. And if you want to come on this journey in building your best life, hit that subscribe button as well. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building your best life. See you.